welcome Jackie Collins to this special show. You are such a big, best-selling novelist. You write such passionate and romantic scenes, and sometimes they are very sexually arousing, I would say. And I have heard that you say that you have never written about anything you haven't experienced yourself. Is that true?
Well, I have to tell you, Dr. Ruth, I did say that, but it was after about 2 books. If I'd done everything I'd written about after 10 books, I would be exhausted. I would be in the morgue. I would no longer have the energy to write the books.
Now, tell me, Jackie, I'm very interested in one thing. You do write about the Hollywood scene.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not an expert on that. That's why I'm going to ask you.
I don't know about that. I've seen you on Joan Rivers.
Yeah, but I fly there and then I fly
I've seen you
right
with Burt
back.
Reynolds.
That's true. That's true, but he was here.
Ah.
Jackie, when you do write about such scenes,
Yeah.
when you walk into a party these days, do people keep away from you? Are they worried that you're going to write about them, that you're going to find out what they do?
You know, it's very interesting. I have a book out now called Lucky, and because it's about the jet set and not about Hollywood, people are feeling kind of secure around me. But the book that I'm writing now is called Hollywood Husbands, and Hollywood husbands are coming up to me and saying, I must tell you this about me and 2 girls in Texas, and about this, what happened with my wife, and all kinds of secret things.
They actually seek out, they decide to tell you that despite the fact that they know that they eventually will be in that book?
They want to be in the book. They want to be in the book because they want to get revenge on the woman who's hitting them in the pocketbook where it really hurts. So they think I will be the one to do it, and they treat me like a psychiatrist or a bartender. It's set 'em up, Jackie, and I'll tell you everything. I'm sort of like a free psychiatrist, definitely.
Can they actually, afterwards in the book, can they find themselves?
They look for themselves. But tell me this, if you go to a party, don't you find that people come up and tell you amazing things, even more amazing than you hear on your show?
That's true, but I don't write about it. They know that I keep that, and then maybe I use some of it by giving some answers.
Well, I changed the names to protect the not-so-innocent.
Do you ever write about people like myself? Do I have to be worried now about talking to you because, God forbid?
I was out to dinner last night with Sean Connery and his wife, and he said, oh, you're seeing Dr. Ruth tomorrow. He said, I watch her show all the time. Ask her about her own sex life. I said, am I going to be the one to dare to do that? No, not even I will do that.
I think that if he would be sitting here, I would tell him that I would get out of it. Somehow I get out of these questions.
I know you would.
I wriggle out of them.
We're observers of what goes on. We're very good at giving advice, but we really never reveal anything about ourselves.
So actually, most of the people in Lucky, for example, or in the Hollywood Husbands, are based on real people.
Well, yes, but I also like to write very strong women. And I like to write very strong sexually women who are sexually equal with men.
What is a strong sexually woman?
Well, I think that, you know, we've all been brought up, I've been brought up with the thought that women, perhaps, if a man goes to bed with a woman, he's scoring off her, you know. Children are brought up, keep the daughters locked up and send the sons out to have a good time. And I've never believed in that. And I've been writing for 17 years and I have 10 books. And Lucky is a book about a very independent woman who is very sexually free, but lives her life with the style and the freedom of a man.
But does she, in that book, in your opinion, does she use her sexuality in order to get something? Because before you said something about the pocketbook. Does she go to bed with that Hollywood producer, whoever it is, in order to get a role, in order to get power? Or does she go to bed because she wants to have a good sexual experience?
Hollywood wives, some of them, go to bed because they want something from the men in their lives, and Lucky Santangelo goes to bed because she enjoys it. And she never wants anything from anybody except a good time. I mean, she wants to live her life like a man, with that freedom, with that great sexual freedom that they've always had. And the women have had to really fight for, because if you're in an office building and there is a man that sleeps around, they go, oh, what a stud, he's great, you know, good old Charlie, nudge, nudge. But if it's a woman, slut, nymphomaniac, you know, she's easy.
Do you believe that even in 1985, these days, do you think that many women still use their sexual favors in order to get a part to play, in order to do something with a producer, with a director?
You know, I think that goes on in Hollywood. I mean,
I want to know, not here, Not on this set.
Not on this
No,
set.
you can tell that to Gilles.
You mean you've never slept with anybody to get where you are today?
Right.
Right.
So
No, because I think that women are much smarter today. And I think that if they're a little bit stupid, perhaps, and they've won a beauty contest and they come to Hollywood and they end up in some fat guy's jacuzzi because he's a producer and they think they're going to get a part, I think they're ruining their chances. I mean, I know one girl who had a big part in a movie recently, and then she proceeded to sleep her way down the ladder. That's how smart she was.
Why down?
Right down the ladder instead of up the ladder.
Now, but she also could find maybe romance and happiness and the right guy to share a lifetime with. Or doesn't that happen in Hollywood?
It happens. I mean, there's some terrific Hollywood wives and some terrific Hollywood husbands. I don't write about them. I write about the people who are really very driven. Yeah, because they're more exciting to write about. They're more fun to write about.
And some of the Hollywood husbands actually will sleep with a powerful woman in order for them to get up the ladder?
Yes, this is very true. This is one of the subjects I'm going to cover in Hollywood Husbands, the man that is married or is sleeping with the star, because that's very interesting too. But I've got to always have that strong woman in there, like Lucky, because Lucky is a great woman. I mean, I love her. Women come up to me and they grab me by the arm and they say, you know, Lucky Santangelo is inspirational. She's a terrific heroine. And that's nice.
When you finish the book about the husbands, will you come and share it with us?
Yes, I will, because people have a good time in my books. Thank you, Dr. Ruth.
Thank you very much,
It's been
Jackie.
a big pleasure.
Thank
I'm
you.
a great fan.
Thank you.
Don't go away.
Early this morning. He died after a long bout with cancer. So this half hour we will remember him, and we will be helped in that endeavor by a close friend of his and a co-worker, actress Constance Towers.
He was an extraordinary force on the stage. Also coming up this morning, we're going to have one of the top of the best-selling authors, Jackie Collins. Now, how do you sell 60 million books? I know, with pleasure. We're going to talk to her about it, but first, let's check in with Faith Daniels, who brings us up to date on the latest news. Faith?
Forrest, there is startling news from Egypt. President Hosni Mubarak says the Palestinian hijackers who held the Achille Lotto and murdered a wheelchair-bound American have been released.